So starting with the center, Fool in reverse means, or just Fool in the upright position means being carefree, being joyous, having faith, having trust in the universe, feeling open. It's the 0 card of the major arcana, so it's when all things are possible. It's feeling like the world is a great adventure out in front of you. When it's in reverse, it means that there's some fear, doubt, or resistance to connecting with that. So what is keeping you from being carefree? What is keeping you? It's like there's a great adventure. Opportunity is knocking at your door. So what is preventing you from running out the door and joining Fool and going for that grand adventure, from being happy, carefree, young, innocent, all those feelings that Fool has, where he's just open and trusting and full of faith? What is keeping you from having faith or trust in the world, from feeling like all things can be new? So Aries, you have a wonderful sort of invitation. Are you going to accept that invitation? Are you going to go into the world with a full, open, trusting heart, or not? That's your question for May, is can you be open? What is preventing you from being open and full of faith and trusting? In the shadow position is 2 of coins, which this could be, a card about joint finances. Sometimes this is a card about flexibility. So 2 of coins usually means feeling like you're standing on one foot and having to keep a bunch of balls in the air. And so that could be a really pressure-filled card. It could be like, oh my gosh, I feel off balance. I feel like I have to keep all these balls in the air. It could be a real card of stress. Or it could be a card of fun and flexibility. Like, not only can I keep these balls in the air, but I'm juggling, and watch me do it on one foot. So it's a card about adapting to changing circumstances. And we can do that best when we adopt a flexible attitude, or, invite humor and fun into the situation. If this is in shadow, it may lean towards the lower aspects of that card, which means feeling stressed, feeling like you can't adapt to changing circumstances. And that might be what's creating the stress that's not allowing you to feel carefree and in Fool energy. But the antidote to that, if that's something that you're feeling like a level of stress beneath your consciousness, because this is the shadow card, I'm going to invite you to adopt the high side of this card, which is flexibility and fun. It's like taking things with a grain of salt. It's saying, you know what, if the wind blows, I'm gonna blow in that direction with it. If it's sort of like rolling with the punches, is what I'm going to say about this card. Like, take life with a grain of salt. There's a quote that I usually mention with 9 of Wands, but I'm going to mention it here too, is that it's a Beckett quote that says, ever tried, ever failed, never mind, try again, fail better. So I'm going to invite you to kind of like receive and accept sometimes the absurdities of life. And if you are being met with changing circumstances that you're having a hard time rolling with or being flexible to, invite humor and fun and a feeling of flexibility in. That's really going to help you in May, Aries. What's passing away is 6 of Swords in reverse. So if you have been having a hard time recovering from something, this is a card of recovery and healing. It may mean that your recovery is over, your healing is over, you're completed in that sense. It may mean that some of you are returning from travel, like you've gone on a trip and you've just come back. That 6 of Swords energy. 6 of Swords means going to new horizons. Going from turbulent waters, which can represent sickness or trying times psychologically or just being in a tough place, and going to smoother seas. So for some of you, it's going to be that your recovery is complete, your healing is complete, that you've gone somewhere and have come back. It means that the time of going to new places, that has completed. You've gotten yourself out of the difficult situation, and that's why Fool is here waiting. It's sort of like you've gone to the new place, the open day. I just want to show you in both of these cards. See how the sky is here, and then we've got mountains here. It's sort of like you've done the hard work. You've taken yourself into the new place of the new horizon, and you've arrived at the new horizon. You just have to be open to receiving it and acknowledging that you are in a new place. There's going to be some acknowledgement of that you can no longer do things the old way and subscribe to any of this. The old way of thinking will not allow you to continue forward. That's what Ten of Swords is about. Ten of Swords is another completion. And it's really having to do with the way you think. Swords represent the mental element, the air element. So that's knowledge, wisdom, understanding, ideas, beliefs. And Ten of Swords means that when you continue this way of thinking, it drains all of your life force. And 10 is a completion number. So it's saying, I can't do it that way anymore. Excuse me. I can't think about things that way anymore. That's where Fool is happening here. It's sort of like saying, as you acknowledge this end, this opening, this vitality, fun, openness, like feeling carefree, these are almost opposite cards. This is the end, and it's really serious, and it's really like bottoming out, despair. Like, I can't do it anymore. This is like, oh, I feel like I just woke up. I'm smelling this rose. I'm going to step out into the new, fresh day. Invite this in. Be open and receptive to this, Aries, because whatever fear, doubt, or resistance you may have had, this Fool is emerging from whatever it is that you've recovered from. For some of you, it may be drug addiction. That's, bottoming out and recovery. That could be. And this Fool energy is like new life that you're not quite sure how to embrace in yet. But see that it's there waiting for you. You just have to open the door to it. Or whatever it is that you've been struggling with. And then I see Queen of Rods. This is you, Aries. This is the fire sign. So it could potentially be another Aries, a Leo, or a Sag, but this is shining forth in your own radiance. This is feeling on top of your game, feeling, again, great sense of humor in this card. She's very sassy. She takes things with a grain of salt. She always comes with a quick comeback. She's bold. She's confident. She's courageous. So this is you showing up. This is your highlighted card as you embrace this Fool energy and get through feeling like a newborn babe, feeling like, okay, maybe I'm just trying things out. Maybe I'm having beginner's mind. You've got a lot. It fuels a lot of things for you, Aries. So be willing to let go of doing things the old way. That's what's coming up for you. And as you do that, this Fool energy emerges: faith, hope, trust in the universe, and you become, again, more Queen of Wands. I'm just going to let my dog in here real quick. So let's take a look then at the weeks. That's my general reading for May for you. I get the sense you're recovering from something. Invite, with the changing circumstances, invite a sense of humor, and invite like a new life in, new vitality, new adventure. Have trust, faith, because you're letting go of this. This is ending. You've done the recovery and the healing part. For week 1, this is also saying there's some sadness there that you may be trying to resist acknowledging. 5 of Cups is about grieving over some loss. And usually with Cups, it's an emotional loss. It's something that you loved. Maybe this is a person, a relationship. It could be really anything that your heart was connected to. And you need to focus on actually grieving and getting through it, because there is still love available for you here. But until you go through the process of shedding those tears or passing through the grief, you don't get to turn around and experience this. When this is in reverse, this is resistance. So you may be trying to deny your feelings about something or just stuffing it down. I'm going to encourage you, Aries, to, bring it to the surface. Cry those tears. Really acknowledge the loss, because that's what will allow you to move on to 2 of Cups, which is heart energy. There's still some standing for you here. Not all is lost. Even though there is some sadness and grief, you'll need to acknowledge that. I'm going to say with this card showing up, and with this healing and recovery, both in reverse, let things up to the surface, because it is through acknowledging those and really going through the grief, going through the healing process, going through the recovery, that you move on to new life, that you're able to let go of the old way of thinking, that it's going to release you. That's a big word I'm going to use for May, Aries, is that you're going to go through some sort of release if you can acknowledge it and be real with yourself. And that's going to free you up to be that Queen of Rods that you naturally are. So if you're denying your feelings about anything, if you're trying to stuff it down or just be strong or just, ignore what's gone on that you're letting go of, I'm going to encourage you to go through the grief. I think it was the Greeks who said the only way to cure grief is to evoke it, it's catharsis. When you let something up, you let it out of you, and therefore you don't carry it around with you anymore. So be real with yourself, Aries. Let your feelings come up, even if you have to do it by yourself. Don't be afraid of shedding those tears or grieving your loss, because that's what opens it up to more available to you. In week 2, things can happen very quickly. This is 8 of Rods or 8 of Wands. And this card usually means that things are 80 to 90% lined up, that the last piece of information shows up, or you get the last puzzle piece that clarifies something. Some news may come to you out of nowhere. You may find out some information. Usually this card, it means that the pot has been heating and heating and heating, and it's just about to boil. So this means that things can boil very rapidly. Things can happen very rapidly. Things can conclude. So this is stuff is in motion, and it goes fast. So week 2, if you're trying to accomplish something, or if you're trying to get forward movement, week 2 is when you can see it happen. Take a break, week 1. Cry whatever tears you need to, or acknowledge any grief or loss. And then week 2, it's forward motion. You guys love that anyway. Aries loves to be active, fiery. This is a fire card. In week 3, I see Knight of Swords showing up for you. So this could be an air sign. That's Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. And Knight of Swords is somebody who doesn't mince words. He goes for it. He's very rational and analytical and logical, and he cuts through all the BS. And he's ready to go into that burning tower. So he is a person of courage. He is a person who he's very insightful. He cuts through with his rational, incisive mind. And he's usually a warrior of some sort, and he's very good at championing a cause. So if you are trying to accomplish something, if you need some help, Knight of Swords, he's really clear-minded. Let him help you. Or this could be a literal air sign person that shows up for you, and he's showing up in support of you, Aries. He's showing up, he's showing up as like, I'm the knight here to help you along, or I'm on your side. He's willing to fight with you, Aries. So any Aquarians, Geminis, or Librans who are in your vicinity, they are there for you. And rely upon their intelligence. They're very knowledgeable. They're very clear-minded. That's the sort of the truth that he's carrying. So he's your friend. Week 3, you've got a nice air sign showing up for you. It could be someone who's willing to fight on your behalf, someone who's willing to stand with you side by side or shoulder to shoulder, someone who's willing to help, whatever you're trying to do. Knights usually work for queens or work in tandem with them, or this could be mother-son energy. So it's someone who's willing to help you be more of this Queen of Rods person. It's helping you be more yourself, or go on whatever quest you're trying to go on in May. Knight of Swords is there to help you. And it also could be, just by the way, it could be someone that you hire. So this could be an employee, or it could be like a counselor, a lawyer. Knight of Swords can often show up as a lawyer, the clear-minded person. Someone who assists you in something. So that's another, if you're looking for an assistant, perhaps, week 3 is a great time to do that. And especially for an air sign to fill that role. And then week 4, there may be a lot of hard work ahead. This is 10 of clubs. So this means, on the low side, it means oppression and working, like breaking your back, working so hard that you feel totally oppressed. Or on the high side, it means teaching. 10 and being capable. So 10 of wands or 10 of clubs usually means carrying more than you need to. So I always ask when this card appears, and it's also appearing in reverse here, is what can you put down that's not necessary? What are you carrying that's not yours? Is there baggage of someone else's that you're carrying? Is there old stuff that you need to let go of? Hello, this recovery stuff. And sometimes by teaching and sharing your experiences, you can offload some of that baggage, some of those ideas or wisdom that you've collected. So ask yourself, what am I carrying that's too much, that's not mine, that's not necessary? What can I put down? And, when it's in the reverse position, it may be saying, I don't feel like I can lighten this load. I'm afraid of putting anything down. I want to emphasize this is a 10 of swords and this is a 10 of wands. So both of these are completions. This means completing a way of thinking, and this means completing a way of acting, a way of doing, a way of being. So you don't have to carry or do the same things or act in the same way. It's actually reminded me of that funny saying, I think it's from Parliament Funkadelic, that free your mind and your ass will follow. So once you deal with letting go of this old way of thinking, this old way of acting, and feeling like you need to carry burdens from the past, may be released. So that's my reading for you, Aries, for May. I see not a lot of new life available to you, but it's just about clearing and letting go of old thinking patterns and acknowledging any grief that releases you to be your full, radiant, confident, bold self, Aries. Adapt, invite humor in to adapt to changing circumstances, and open that door for Fool. He's knocking at your door. Opportunity is knocking. Go out and greet that day.